Welcome everyone, I'm Fausto Carnevale, I'm an Italian accountant. Today I will talk about the differences between Italy and Portugal. As you saw last week, I did a video about Portugal in the previous weeks, and in particular I talked about the non-habitual regime. And I discussed this topic because a lot of our clients of ours, they are from United States of America. And they are curious about Italy, especially because in our channel, we have discussed a lot of time the regime impatriati, forfait regime, and also the flat tax for the millionaire, let's say the millionaires who moved to Italy. But today I want to just to give you a quick overview of what would I do and what would I consider when I need to choose between Italy and Portugal. Why Italy and Portugal? Well, because now actually we investigated, we considered a lot of factors, not only the tax structure of the country, but we also considered other benefit of living in the country. For instance, the sun, the weather, and also the culture. We considered also the well-being, let's say. We know that Italy and Portugal, they are quite similar, especially where I am here now in south of Italy, in Abruzzo. As you may see, we still have 20 degrees at the end of October. It's perfect. But what would I consider before moving from one country to another, or from Italy to Portugal, to continue this example? So in Portugal, you have basically the non-habitual regime tax, which is a benefit that you can use only for 10 years. So I was also made a short video in the channel this week, and I was saying, please consider that if you want to live with a family, if you want to move in a country with a family, and in order to get the non-habitual regime, you also have to do a profession, which are, for instance, engineer, a particular profession. Consider that after 10 years, this regime, the effects, let's say, of this regime, they will stop. So you won't have any advantage. Of course, if you are 20 years old, you just want to travel, to enjoy the life, to just stay in Portugal a short period of time, well, maybe Portugal is a good country for you, because you can stay for 10 years and then you may say to me, we will see. But in comparison to that, in Italy we have the impatriate regime. So the impatriate regime is also a way, and even in Italy we have a certain limit also for the forfeit regime. But what we can do, and this is a good advice that I can give you, if you want to move to Europe, you can maybe consider to open a company in one country like Romania, and then, for instance, you can move to Portugal for 10 years. And then you can say, well, okay, but then in 10 years you have to relocate, or you have to find another solution. And those solutions we can also discuss together in the call. Anyway, just wanted to remind you, if you have any questions, we can schedule a call together in order to discuss those things. But consider how the typical question of when you're having an interview, how do you see yourself in 5 years? And this is the question: 5, 10 years, will you still want to live in Europe, or do you want to go back? Or let's say that you want to move from France to Portugal, or from France to Italy, just to have those tax benefits. Would you consider to remain in Italy or not? That's the things that you have to ask. Would you consider to remain or not? This is another trick that I discussed in other videos. Like, what is important as well is that if you live in Europe, you have to stay at least 6 months in one country. So basically you can travel a lot, you can move between one country to another, and this is also a very important thing to consider. Anyway, it depends on what activity are you doing. Italy and Portugal are the same, but of course in Portugal you have a full tax exemption from revenues from abroad. And also in this video I wanted to remind, if you need assistance, you're from the USA, we have our team in Portugal as well, so we can help you further to get your visa, because that's another issue then. But of course, once you got visa to live in Italy or Portugal, that will be very, very easy. Another thing that I want you to say is that when you decide, consider also the cost of living, because I made a video on Lisbon. I read some articles yesterday. They say that it's quite cheap, but quite cheap, what do we mean? We spend at least 700 euro per month for a flat. Whereas if we live in Italy, we can even spend, for instance, where I live here in Abruzzo, 300-400 euro per month. So you see, we have two different situations here. Consider a lot of things. Consider as well, if you are a high net worth individual, high net worth, you have a flat tax in Italy. You have also a flat tax of social contribution. So maybe in this case Italy could be the best way for you. Remember that when you have the non-habitual residence in Portugal, the regime I call it to simplify, you have to send the declaration every year as well. You can do what you want. You have to send the declaration as well. You have to find an accountant as well. If you're from the States, you have to find a good lawyer as well for the procedures. I just met a good lawyer that can help you. So consider a lot of things, and in this video I invite you to write here in the comments, do you prefer Italy or do you prefer Portugal? Also, if you want to speak with us, with me and Andrea, or both of us, the best things that you can do now is to book a call with us. Less expensive than you think, and you can save literally hundreds of thousands of euro if you do a call with us. So until next time, Fausto Carnevale. Today from Italy, it's 11. You know what I'm doing now? I'm going out and I'm taking a good espresso coffee. We'll send you maybe some picture later. See you next time. Fausto.